Peace. Welcome to the LightBulb Lessons podcast, where we build with professional leaders who share their organic life lessons. I'm your host, T.O. Clay. My mission is to leverage and extract intellectual perspective, thought-provoking conversation, and real lightbulb moment experiences to help others reflect, develop, and grow as people. These lessons are inspired by the priceless moments in life we use to connect the dots and propel ourselves forward along our journey. It's time to turn on the lamp and shine light. Let's get it.
Hey, peace, love, and light out there, family. Hey, it's T.O. Clay, LightBulb Lessons. Hey, once again, here we are. I'll always say it, man. My goal is to bring forth the best leaders that I know. You know, high-powered individuals, God-fearing, just out here living life, man, to the best of our ability. And I promise you, this gentleman that I have with me today, mad respect for him, much respect, well known throughout, the seas, the shining seas. And man, it's a pleasure, man. The pleasure, like I always say, it's just, man, sometimes it's overwhelming out there, you all, because some of these gentlemen, ladies that I've had this privilege to sit down with and just have open kimono conversation. And our goal in LightBulb Lessons, you already know, it's about leadership, man. We ain't never on here trying to be nothing that we're not. We're not trying to, spark up no problems and issues with anybody. It's just straightforward. Man, we love being leaders. We love inspiring and influencing, helping others. That's what it's all about. And I'm just so privileged and so grateful today for this episode to have a great brother of mine, friend, gentleman I've always looked up to, a gentleman I've heard about since I was a young pup in the game, that I was able to look up to and watch and see and just, soak in and learn. I always say all the time, read, absorb, apply. Sometimes it's watch, absorb, and apply. And I was able to watch this gentleman, man, and I'm just so grateful. I tell my dad all the time, Dad, I know some of the greatest leaders, some of the greatest individuals on this planet. And today, I have a brother here with me, my brother, Sergeant Major retired, Jeffrey Young, man. How you feeling today, bro? How's it going, man?
Listen, man, I am truly blessed. First of all, man, thank you for those kind words, man. I'm definitely humble and appreciated that, those kind words resonate throughout, the Marine Corps, right. Both senior, subordinate, and junior, man. So, thank you for inviting me on this show. Life is good, Clay. I tell you, man, I cannot complain. God has put me in a great position, man, and I'm truly blessed, brother.
Hey, man, you look like it, man. I'm loving the beard. You know what I'm saying? Looking fresh, dog. You look happy, bro. Like, man, that means a lot, bro. Like,
I tell you, man. Listen, as far as the beard, yeah, it's something that once you retire, of course, we walk around clean shaven and stuff, but sometimes, that's our identity, man. And sometimes, to break out of that and establish a new mold. So, I tried it out about 3 or 4 times, cut it, let it grow, cut it. Yeah. But it's me. It's Jeffrey. Love the military, SgtMaj and all that stuff. But no, that's a closed chapter, man. That's a closed chapter, and it's time for me to move on. So this is Jeffrey, man, and I love it.
I love it too, bro. Hey, you're known around the world, bro. It's got overseas, people here and there that know you, man. And when they see this, man, hey, they're gonna feel good. They're gonna be happy to hear that, bro. And that's so inspiring, man, because like you said, sometimes, man, hey, we've lived that regimented for a long time, and sometimes, hey, it's kind of scary to kind of let that go. But man, hey, like I said, bro, you look amazing. You look beautiful, dog, and I'm just grateful to be here with you, man. Hey, 100%, bro. And I was thinking about this earlier, and just starting it off, man. I read, your bio. I went back and I looked at it, and that number one thing, I said, man, dog, I forgot Jeffrey Young from B-More, dog. He from B-More. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind, man, kind of expound on that, man. What was it like coming up in B-More? Just give us some of that little backdrop history, man.
Listen, Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Baltimore Ravens, Orioles, and all that stuff. Baltimore, it has a lot of positive things that go on in that city. And unfortunately, a lot of the negative things are those that are highlighted. Hey, I grew up a single family home. My mom and my dad, they struggle with substance abuse and things of that nature. So, me coming up, looking for guidance and stuff, I'm not going to say that it wasn't in the home, because there was always love there. But there was a lot of distractions there as well. So for me, early on, brother, I decided that, that was not a path that I wanted to take. And fortunately for me, there were older gentlemen around my neighborhood that seen something in me. And, there were times that, yes, I wanted to go left and get mixed up in the riffraff and things of that nature. But I had some strong gentlemen that didn't want to see me go down a path that, that could have, ended up in me being in jail or killed, things of that nature. So, growing up, man, I turned to sports.
Yeah, bro.
I did. I turned to sports, man, playing football, basketball, baseball, anything that would allow me an outlet. Right. And I did that, man. And I tell you, that there's a lot of lessons can be learned from, playing sports, discipline, teamwork. Believe it or not, all those things that, fast forward 10 to 15 years are resonant once I joined the Marine Corps. Indeed. So, growing up, I wouldn't say that I had a hard life, because, I was loved, I was taken care of. Right. But just like most young men, sometimes there are distractions there that if you don't find another outlet or path, we see it so often, folks turn into statistics.
That's right.
And I decided early on, man, that I did not want to be one of the gentlemen or young cats that I seen, I killed at an early age, was locked up. I wanted something better for myself. And I had siblings, so I wanted them to see their older brother doing something positive and be proud of me, man. So that was, one of the reasons that I ended up joining the Marine Corps.
Right. Did you do ROTC, anything like that in high school, bro?
I did not. Unfortunately, back when I came through my school, there were no military affiliated type programs in my high school. Like I said, man, I just stuck to sports. And through a good friend of mine that was on my football team, Gunner Rashawn, retired Motley, he was a third generation Marine. His older brother was already serving. So, he had already decided that he was going to join the Marine Corps. And, funny, I caught a ride home with him one day senior year, and he had to stop past the recruiting office, and old Sergeant Mason got a hold of me. And, he told me some things that later on I found out wasn't necessarily the 100% truth, or he fabricated some things. But, me and my partner, we decided to say, hey, man, let's give it a try. 4 years, let's, leave out of Baltimore City. Let's go make something out of ourselves. And, after we do 4 years, we'll kind of decide if this is something that we want to heavily invest in, or come back home and blend into the community. And, lucky for me, 4 turned into 30 years. And here I am today.
Wow. I noticed you said, you said you and your partner, you come in on the buddy program?
I did. We joined the buddy program. I tell you a funny story. So we were supposed to get shipped together, right?
Okay.
So my buddy started getting into a lot of trouble. And, his mom went to the recruiter, and she actually told him that if he doesn't leave soon, that he's not going to ship. So the recruiter moved up his shipment date 3 weeks from mine. And he called me over the house. I didn't know what it was about. Hey, Jeff, I'm leaving today. You going to come see me over? I'm thinking he's pranking me, right? So I go up there, and sure enough, recruiter came, picked them up, scooped them up, sent them down Paris Island, and I was lost, man. I tell you, that was my road dog. But 3 weeks later, man, he came to my house, scooped me up, and down Paris Island, man, 1st Battalion Bravo Company. And it's funny, Clay. Doing form in the first couple of days. I seen him by the chow hall.
Okay.
I was still in form. He was in first phase. And, I was going to leave out of formation and run over to him. Hey, bro, what's up? And I remember him shaking his head like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. So I remember that. Next day, he dropped a piece of paper with his mail address and things of that nature. So we sent letters back and forth. And, January 26th, I remember, man, we was on our way coming back from BWT. Right. And him and his family was out there visiting. And they stopped past out there. He couldn't say anything, but, he just beat his heart till he gave me a peace sign and say, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And, I was able to catch up with him at MCT.
Okay.
And then after that, man, our path split in the course. I think there was only maybe one or two times that we was actually stationed together, him being a cook and me being a communicator. So
right.
Without Charlie, man, I tell you, I know for a fact I would not have joined the Marine Corps.
Wow. That's amazing, dog. Yeah. That's you hear these stories, man, and cats going in together, and like you said, sometimes those paths go, separate ways. Hey, at the end of the day, like you said, if it wasn't for Charlie, I wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Right. All these years later, man, it's just amazing, man. So, where was your first duty station, bro? Where did you go once you got out of boot camp, MCT?
So initially, they sent me straight to Okinawa, Japan.
Is that right? Wow.
Okinawa, the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah, so I was about to say, dog.
Oh, man, I tell you, over there, of course, you're away from home. And over there, back then, it was only 12 months.
Okay.
So, I wasn't really missing anything. I was never a homebody. So going to Japan, man, the first time away from the U.S. on your own, trying to figure things out. And within that year, man, I worked for some NCOs, Milton Bass, Terrell Freeman, Corporal Hanahosa, Master Nunzio. I'm telling you, those four set the foundation for what I later became, man. And I tell you, those four I still keep in contact with today. And I always thank them. Like, listen, a young, hard-hitted dude, always wanted to fight and argue. That was my way of solving problems.
That's right.
And they taught me, I tell you, the old battery locker.
Yeah, bro.
I tell you, one day I got a little too mouthy.
Yeah.
And Bass and Freeman cleared out the shop and told me to meet in the battery locker. And me thinking I'm tough, I did. Humbling experience.
Hey, lessons learned, LightBulb Lesson. Yes, sir.
I tell you, but after that, man, they sit down and they talk with me and made me realize, really, like, you have no idea the potential that you have. It's like, you'll go on a path that is going to end up getting you kicked out the Marine Corps. We've seen it happen time and time again. You're physically fit. You're very smart. You're one of the few African Americans that was in the satellite communications field. So we know that you have the intellect. He's like, man, like, if you don't leave that street mentality alone, there's other ways to solve your problems besides fighting. And I tell you, over that next year, man, they just worked on me and worked on me and worked on me. And I tell you, I'm truly blessed. And that's not to say that some other Marines would not have did that. But at an early on in my career as a young PFC Lance Corporal, they set the foundation, man. And it's like, everywhere I went, I was fortunate enough that there was somebody there that took me under their wing.
Yes.
And molded and molded and molded. And, you know, I came across other guys, and, you know, I'm a competitive person. You know, if that's the number one top dog, you know, once I became a corporal, that's where I want to be.
Absolutely.
What do I have to do to be, you know, the platoon sergeant? You know, those little things, man. So, you know, they say drinking the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sometime making the Kool-Aid.
Right.
I kid you not. And
yeah.
Each step of the way, man, there was some folks there that guided me. And hey, man, what do you want to do in your life? What do you want to be? Hey, this is one of them. But these are the things that you need to do in order to get to the next level. And just like a roadblock, man, it happened for me. Those doors open. I took advantage of every opportunity. And, you know, the sky was the ceiling for me, man. And I was fortunate enough to bless, you know, get promoted to sergeant major and, you know, move around, influence some folks and accomplish some great things and give back to a lot of folks that was watching. Like you say, you know, a lot of folks may not have that intimate daily contact with you. But a lot of folks will sit back and observe how you go about life, how you do business. And a lot of times they take some lessons from that, some advice from you, man. And, you know, they go on to do some phenomenal things. So, yeah.
That's right. Question. So, like the first few times that you went back to Baltimore, like on them leave blocks, what was it like for you, man? What was going through your mind when you was pulling back into Be More?
It was different, man. It was different. I tell you, you know, one, you know, you don't want to feel like you're abandoning,
no doubt,
you know, your friends. So, you know, you try to hang out and socialize with them, but you just feel like, man, I'm different. You know, before things were good, but when you're around them, you know, you just feel out of place. The things they were doing, you like, I want to be down with them, but at the same time, I know that if I go down this road, man, that's going to set me back, and I cannot afford to go backwards. So it was different, but you know what, Clay? I had a couple friends of mine that knew that, hey, man, Jeff, you're doing something phenomenal, man, and don't think that we don't see you out there doing something that we ain't done, and we proud of you. They're like, Jeff, you can't hang around us like that, man. And like, I got enough love for you to tell you, man, that, you know, you coming around, you know, while we into certain things, he's like, that's not gonna be good for you, man. So, brother, listen, you go forth and do your thing, man. We got love for you. There's nothing wrong with you coming through. But I had a few of them, man, that was like, nah, man, this ain't you no more, man. You doing bigger things, and I appreciate that.
That's right. It makes me think, Jeffrey, you know, it's like that athlete, you know, a lot of the athletes we see on the come up, you know, cats in the hood, they recognize that. They see that, hey, man, this brother, he can get out of here, man. He could go do something with his life. He could be that inspiration, man. So to see those parallels is pretty amazing, man.
That's right.
You know, I could already see that, bro. Like you said, man, I stationed at Quantico, man. I've been up to Baltimore a lot of times, you know, partying, getting out and about the city, man, and it's real, you know. I used to go up there to the Oriole Stadium to the African American Heritage Festival.
That's right.
Stadium, yeah, man. It's thick up there, bro. We always had a great time. But even in those settings, I was always like, yo, you know, we got to go back. You know, we got to go back, man. And, you know, you might see a couple scuffles over here, a couple cats over here selling weed or whatever, but we always try to stay, you know, in tune that, hey, man, we got a responsibility back to, you know, where we at, you know. So that really means a lot, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing, man. Was there a time to where you hit that moment to where you said, man, I want to be a sergeant major? Was there ever a time in your career where that really hit you, man, or was it just something that just kind of grew organically?
It that was never early in my career. That was never a goal of mine. I just wanted to be the gunny.
That's it, dog.
To me, the gunny.
Yeah, man.
No matter where I went at, the gunny ran things. And I that's what I want to be. Coming off the drill field, got selected. Okay, so now the gunny's in charge. This feels pretty good. Like, hold up, how much time I got left in? You still got some legs. So now you gotta make that decision. First sergeant, master sergeant. And I tell you, Sergeant Major Solano was my sergeant major. Just having a conversation. Because I was the comm chief.
Yeah.
No, that was very promising for me. But I wanted something more, man. I love seeing that one person that was in front of the unit. Yeah. Command and respect, setting the right example. And folks looked up to that first sergeant, the sergeant major, and in most cases. I like that. That's where I want to be, right? So I talked to him. What do you think? And he said, Jeff, let me tell you something. He like, from the outside looking in, he like, you would be successful either path you go.
Either which way. Yeah, man.
He said, I think you will be better suited as an 89-99 because of your ability to influence a wider audience.
Absolutely.
And he's like, folks gravitate to you, man. He's like, you can go down to someone's shop and just have a conversation. And it's just like, folks gravitate to you. And these are Marines. Yeah, he like, they know you by coming and going, the way you talk to folks, the way you treat Marines, the example that you set. He's like, folks gravitate to that. And he like, the ones that don't gravitate to you, he like, those are the ones that stand away from for a purpose.
That's right.
Weathersby, Thornton, a couple other, Marine leaders said the same thing. So from that point, I started putting the F on my fit rep. I did, man. And
you talking about good old Leon Thornton?
That's right.
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Leon Thornton, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He's a fellow communicator like myself. So wow. he was at 8th Con with me for years and years. And a prior hat, he was one of those ones you looked at like, man,
that's it.
That guy's sharp.
Yes.
Walk into a room, owns it.
100%.
So those are some of the guys that I tell you, man, from a distance, provided great mentorship to me. BJ McKay. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. Good, positive Marines. That was all about their business. Knew how to talk the talk, walk the walk.
Right.
And those are some of the things that I took away from them. And like I said, man, I was fortunate enough to get selected as first sergeant.
Right.
And so I made Solano. Hey, congratulations. Hey, Jeff, longevity. Do you want to pursue being a sergeant major, or are you going to do your time as a first sergeant and debate it? And I told him, Sergeant Major, I want it all. It wasn't right now. I want it. Right. I kid you not, man. He laid out the path. First stop, Victor unit. Do that. He like, once you do that successful tour, he like, it's open for you. Try a schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Try a schoolhouse. He like, Jeff, if you follow that blueprint and you do the same thing that you've done here as a gunny, as a first sergeant, Jeff, I have no doubt in my mind that you, on the first opportunity, you will get selected.
You'll get selected. Right.
I followed the blueprint, brother. And 4.5 years later, when that message came out, you start getting all these text messages and phone calls, and I think I was out in the field. And when I went back, Sergeant Major Whitehead called me to the office. Hey, congratulations, brother. You got selected Sergeant Major.
That's it, dog. How did you feel in that moment, bro?
Oh my God, man. It's like you set a goal, and you work hard to achieve it, but you also know that, not everybody makes it to the big dance. And there are some great leaders that we all know that were not selected. Right. So, it was a big relief. I was equally proud of me and everybody who helped get me there, because it's, man, so many people that helps you get to where you are. It was never about anything that I've done. I got there in the backs of so many, giants that helped me get there. So,
man, dog, like that. That's the LightBulb lesson, Jeffrey, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying names, bro, that I've heard over those years, bro. Like, and like I said, man, big shout out to Leon Thornton, man. Shout out to Fernando Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fernando Stevenson was always talking about y'all cats, man. And when I was leaving Quantico, they said, hey, you gotta go check out Sergeant Major over on Main side. I'm like, all right, cool. I go up in there, Jeffrey. They had the old saloon style wooden doors back on the command. You know what I'm saying? I go back through there. I walk in. Hey, come on in, though, dog. It's there on Sergeant Major Leon Thornton. That's what he's the base Sergeant Major at Quantico. Checking out Sergeant Major. I show him my orders. He said, dog, you going to the University of North Carolina. That's my team, though, dog. That's my team. And then he just started grooming in that moment. Started grooming, man. He said, I did MOI duty. I was at the University of Illinois, so I know exactly what you're about to go through. And he said, matter of fact, my wife still live in Durham. And he was like, so, hey, when you get them basketball tickets down there for them Tar Heels,
that's right.
The goal. And it's just amazing, Jeffrey. These LightBulb lessons, man, bring so many ties, because when we got down to Durham, he called me offline. He said, hey, listen, I'm a professional Marine. He said, hey, Gunny, I'm about to bring my wife up here with me. And he said, and I'm gonna rent my home out. So, hey, go by there, see my wife. If it's an option you want to pursue, hey, more power to you. Man, I take the family. We go over there. We meet Mrs. D, his wife, and she in there frying chicken, bro. All the pictures of Sergeant Major. I was like, man, wife was like, hey, this home right here. And I called Sergeant Major back. I said, Sergeant Major, I'm gonna be working at Chapel Hill. He lived right down the street from Duke, literally about not even 10 minutes from Cameron Indoor Stadium. And he's like, hey, dog, you a Marine, you can handle it. And he said, but Clay, don't tear up my floors, though, dog. That's all I care about. Don't tear up the nice, pretty wooden floors in that house. And man, when I tell you, Jeffrey, man, he took so good care of us and taught me a lot, man. Just like you said, on that pursuit. He'd always tell me, hey, Clay, it's gonna happen quick. You a gunny. You're gonna blink your eyes. You're gonna be in zone for first sergeant. Man, I used to mentor his son, because his son was down at North Carolina A&T. A&T. He was at A&T. And I remember he called me and was like, hey, talk to my son. He'd come over. I give him tickets to the games and stuff like that, man, if the students didn't use them. Man, it's just hearing some of those names, man. It's powerful, bro.
Sure.
Another key thing, that really jumps out to me, man, is, like you said, man, you're paying that homage back to the individuals that poured into you and poured into you and poured into you. And I would like to believe that, when you had to make those tough decisions, bro, when you sitting at that desk, or when you standing out in front of that large dang on battalion, or you and the commander one-on-one, all of that filled into your cup, man, helps in those moments. Would you agree that even as a sergeant major, you still needed a mentor? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Getting mentorship just doesn't stop when you reach a certain level.
That's right.
There are always folks out there that have been through what you're about to go through. 100%. And if not, it's always good to just bounce certain ideas off of, right, because Jeffrey's way is not always the right way. I may be looking at it through one lens, but it's always good just to bounce it off to get a sanity check. Hey, this is what's going on. Do you think this is a good idea? And believe it or not, someone may say, well, hey, Jeff, listen, if you're looking at it from this lens, I think that's a perfect approach.
Right.
Have you take this in consideration?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. And know how that's going to have a second or third order effect on things. I did not. We always want to take care of our commanders. We all want to take care of our Marines. But the reality is sometimes, in our business as 89.99, sometimes you don't have the leeway to kind of, make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? There's some mistakes are forgiven, and there's some mistakes that you don't recover from. So I always took my time and never tried to rush a decision, right? You can provide advice to somebody, but always think about it from their perspective. And, if the advice you're going to get is it going to have second or third order effects?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, mentorship even today, post Marine Corps, and that's behind me, just in being, a wife, a husband, a father. I got a teenager, 15-year-old running around. So, some things that I may think is the best way of doing things. I got uncles that got kids, or, other mentors that, have since departed the Marine Corps that I keep in contact with. So, hey, JD, hey, man, what do you think about this? Your son is what, 21? Hey, I got a 15-year-old, man, and he's all over the place. And, this is what I'm thinking. Do you think I'm right? Hey, Jeff, listen, man, I love you, brother, but I think you want to pump the brakes on that, and here's why.
That's right.
Sounds good, man. But yeah, mentorship doesn't, at least for a wise one, mentorship should never stop, man.
Nah, man, it can't. It can't. It's so amazing. I got this book right here, Jeffrey. It's my latest and greatest, called Win the Day, bro. Man, that's. I was talking to a good buddy yesterday, and we was talking about, we love talking about what we're reading, man. And like I told him, I said, man, I'm on this Win the Day, 7 daily habits to help you stress less, accomplish more, and it's God-centered, man. That's what I love about it. I'll dig in there, read a little bit here, recollect, sit back. Okay, all right. How am I going to win today?
That's right.
So it's impactful, man. And I tell you, man, talking about that transition, man. I know you was here in Georgia, down at Albany, great tour down here. At what point did you realize, man, I'm almost at 30, man. Like it's that train is about to stop, man. What was going through your mind these last couple of years before you retired, man?
I tell you, when I took those orders down to Albany, I think I was at 20, almost 28. So I knew when I went down there, the writing was on the wall. That was the last step for me.
Right.
And it's frightening, man, because as an adult, being a Marine was the only thing that I've done. This was it. This was my occupation for 30 years. So I knew nothing. I knew nothing else. And the idea of at some point in time, they're going to have a parade for you. They're going to say their goodbyes. And then, brother, this part of your chapter is going to close.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
And I tell you,
that's the big question.
Sleepless nights. Sleepless nights. But I will tell you this. Ross Blaine.
Yes, sir.
Ross Blaine. I tell you, Darrell Rowe. There was a couple other folks that had already retired as I was on my way going out.
That's right.
And if it had not been for Ross, I tell you, prepping the battle space. Hey, Jeff, listen, this is what I recommend you do. You're 2 years out, brother. That transition needs to start now.
Got to start now. Right.
And I tell you, man, I listen, put things in perspective, and I utilize those 2 years, man, to start thinking like a civilian.
No doubt.
Thinking like a civilian. Jeff, where are you going to go? Where are you going to live? Is your finance good enough where you can take some time out that you don't have to rush out and find a job, transition? You need some time for yourself.
That's right.
Right. I like you're compartmentalized, man. You're institutionalized. 30 years. This all you know.
That's it. No doubt.
I tell you, going into a civilian sector, you know, the way you go about doing business may not equate to success in the civilian world.
That's right. Say that one more time, bro. One more time.
I tell you, the way that you conduct business as a Marine may not lead to success in the civilian world. They're different.
That's it. It's different.
Those 2 years down Albany, I tell you, working, because Albany, the workforce is 95% civilians.
Okay.
95% civilians. I think between us and Lawcom, on that base, we may have had 300 active duty Marines total.
Oh, wow. Wow.
5,000 plus civilians.
Mm-hmm.
So just talking to, you know, my HR director, or just sitting back observing how they do business. Right. I quickly understood, man, that, you know, when you're talking to civilians, you can't go in there with the Marine type attitude. Sir. It's not going to work.
No, sir.
It's not. And they kind of helped me along with my transition. Like, hey, Jeff, you know, I'm not saying, a lot of Marines want to do knife hand, you know, right. And civilians, you know, will turn you off in a heartbeat. You're not going to get anything accomplished. Right. Same thing when you walk into some organization. They appreciate your service, but nobody cares.
Nobody.
You know, hey, 30-year Marine Sergeant Major, I got it. Nobody cares about that when you step outside the civilian world. They don't.
They don't.
And that's a humbling experience, man, for most. Yeah, you know, you're right. So used to being at the head of the table.
That's right.
You're right next to the commander who makes all these decisions. And, you know, with that comes a lot of power. What happens when you transition out and all of a sudden, you know, you don't have that power anymore? You know, you're the average Joe to a certain degree. You're the average Joe. Can you blend in? Can you be able to function with everyone else? And we know, Clay, that there's a lot of folks who have difficulty.
Yeah, real difficulty. You're right. Right, man. I pray, bro.
Yeah.
They're for young. I pray. You know what I'm saying? I pray, man. I've just been so blessed to rekindle back to my family, bro. Like, be closer to mama. You know, be closer to daddy. You know, my siblings.
Yeah.
I'm baby boy. I'm the youngest. So just having that opportunity to call in the weird, awkward hours out the day, like, what's up? You know, boy, you retired, man. I'm at work. I'm like, yeah, dog, what's up? You know, but you're right, man. That transition is real. It's real, bro. And my antidote is this: community, reading. You know, you look around in here. Look, I got the old turntables up in here, Jeffrey.
Right.
Turntables. You know, the old keyboard up here.
That's right.
I've been building this studio since I was a PFC.
Yeah.
And in them hard days, bro, you know, I would always go back to what I knew would center me, you know, and Now it's like it's here. Like you said, bro, like 30 years, bro. It's a long time, bro. You know,
I tell you, it's a good thing you talked about, man, family.
Yeah,
family.
man.
You know, for all of us that are married and have kids and stuff, you know, we don't intentionally neglect them, but we do.
Oh, 100%.
Chasing the dream.
Yeah, man.
You know, they're kind of neglected, man. I can go back and think, you know, at little events that my daughter had or my son had that, you know, you had to go do this for the Marine Corps. So, you know, you chose that, you know, over going to watch a football game or recital. All those little things, man, it starts to come back. And fortunate enough for me, you know, there weren't a lot of missed opportunities, but I remember those things. And, you know, the beauty thing now in rekindling relationships with my family is, you know, man, I can get up in the morning and make breakfast for my son, see him off to school.
Yeah.
Before, you know, 6 o'clock, I'm already headed out the door to the office.
You're gone.
You know, and by the time you come home sometime, you know, they're already did homework and, you know, in the bed sleep. But, you know, I get a chance to see him off every morning. I see him when he comes home. I'm at every football game, every basketball game.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I got a grandbaby. Every little thing he does, you know, he's playing flag football. I'm there.
You there, bro?
Man, I tell you, man, if I would have known that retirement was going to be like this years ago, I truly, truly think, man, I would have considered that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man, to have complete freedom.
Yeah,
you have your time,
you
know, to do what you chose to do, to invest it in family, education, whatever you decide to do. It's a beautiful thing. For those who are transitioning that's scared about life after the Marine Corps, man, I tell you, if they properly prepare themselves for the transition, it is a beautiful thing on this side of the fence.
It is, dog. It's a beautiful thing, man. And shout out again to Ross, man.
Yeah.
Kat told me, he's like, hey, man, you about to see life.
Yeah.
You about to experience real freedom, you know. But man, Jeffrey, dog, like, you know, I had that 1,000-yard stare towards that 30, man. I did. You know, we talked before, like you said, hey, Clay, you have some legs left, bro.
Right.
I did, man. But man, dog, it was just my family, dog. Like I truth be told though, Jeffrey, everybody's different. You know, I look at gentlemen like yourself and, you know, Sergeant Major Thornton and so many of the greats. Y'all took it to the house. Y'all went all the way to the end zone. You know what I mean? And yo, just whether you dunked it on the goal post, whether you did some, you know, some snow angels in you know, the end zone.
Right.
That Monday morning, bro, when I got up and was able to just stand there and watch my sons get ready for school, sit down at the kitchen table eating cereal, bro, it was like I was in another planet. It was literally like, wow, dog. And so many of us experienced that, man. And that phone not ringing, that was a big one. That phone not ringing, bro. That phone not ringing and just like, wow, dog, this, you know, I'm sure you probably went through some of the withdrawals, still looking at your phone and bells and all that good stuff. So I'll share this with you, Jeffrey. I didn't want to be in a system anymore.
Yeah.
For me personally, I was like, dog, like, I just want to be free again in terms of what I consider free within me, bro. Like, I don't want to be regimented about every little thing that I do. Because you know, as you know, man, it became, you know, who you are. And then as time started really setting in, jumped in this men's breakthrough challenge with Dr. Myron Edmonds. He's a Air Force chaplain, also got a big church up in Cleveland, and great high powered brother, man. And I got in with him, man. Just something to do, that commune. Got in, and he really harped on systems. He was like, especially for you guys coming out the military, like you're used to planning out your day.
That's
you're
right.
Used to that check in the box. You're used to a calendar. So don't go away from those things. Just replace all those things with you.
That's right.
Family, date night with wifey, walk kids to the school bus.
That's right.
Go help at the local church on Wednesday for the fish fry. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was that light bulb moment for me, bro. Jeffrey, it was the light bulb, because I was like, man, I don't need to shy away from being structured.
Right.
I need to be structured, because that's my genetic makeup per se.
Right.
But I just got to replace being at the meeting across the street. PT with, I might not want to do it at 06. I might do it at noon.
That's
I might
right.
do it at 8 o'clock at night, whenever's right for me. So I encourage the brothers out there that's tuned in to my brother Jeffrey and I, man. Whether you're still serving, whether you're out, whether you've never been in the military, man. Jeffrey talked about it. Those systems, those keystone type of habits, man, that could really help you break through in a positive way, man. So
I tell you one thing you mentioned, man, about family, and I'm glad you said that, because like I shared with you, you were rising. You were rising. You still had levels that you could have achieved.
Right.
Well, what happens when the family dynamic change? Where, some of us, our family are locked in with us. You're able to find a good balance, family, service. So their needs are still being met.
Right.
What happens when the family dynamic changes, and now your wife and your kid and everyone is saying, "Hey, Dad," or "Hey, Mom, we want you home."
Yeah, man.
Right? But you still see a upward trajectory.
Right.
I can still make it. I can still make it. I would tell anybody that's having those internal conversations with themselves. We're all replaceable.
Every one of us.
We're all replaceable. The reality is the core loves us for what we do while we're in those seats, but the reality is we're all replaceable. Family over everything. We say God, country, core, and I truly believe that. But as you get old and wiser, you realize, man, that my family, I'm not going to sacrifice my family for anything. And it's unfortunately, I know of so many gentlemen that have put the core in front of their family, and they've stretched that rubber band to the point that it broke. Yeah, man. And when it was time to leave the Marine Corps, the people that should have been there celebrating with them were no longer lockstep beside them.
That's right.
I would tell anybody from where I'm sitting at, chose your family, man. Your family's going to be with you there through thick and thin. Because the reality, and once we walk out the door, I think I was sharing this with a good friend of mine. I said, while you're wearing a uniform, your phone is always blowing up. Everyone needs you. Everyone's checking on you. The day you walk out the Marine Corps, give it 6 months. And how many of those folks actually reach out to you just to say hello? Hey, brother, how you doing, man? How's the family doing? How's your health? Man, it's unfortunate. Me, thousand people that I know worldwide. Occasionally, you'll get a check-in. Hey, Jeff, hey, SgtMaj, how you doing? Just crossed my mind. Just want to say hello. But for the most part, It's 5 or 6 people.
That's right.
5 or 6 people that I've been knowing for 20 plus 30 years. You know, those are the ones that make sure that you know that you're in a good place. You know, if you need them a drop of a dime, you call them, they're there.
That's right.
That's life after the service. But you know, Clay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me too, man. Me too. I'm good with, bro, just you being here in this present moment with me, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm good, dog.
Yes,
because
sir.
I'm just hearing the things you're saying, man, and that's LightBulb Lessons, dog.
Yeah.
Like you dropping jewels right now, and like I say, bro, you've lived it.
Yeah.
You experienced it, you know, and you hit it right on the head, bro. Like if you're having that internal battle with my family, you know, trajectory, next duty station, you know, promotion, whatever, like you said, man. And matter of fact, man, let me see. Hey, I was reading this earlier. Let me see here. Okay. I will miss everything about the people. The environment is different because the workforce is mainly civilian, he said. The community welcomed my family with open arms. From the Marine Corps, I will miss the routine, he added. I get used to those things like hearing the colors at 08, hearing the Marines doing formation, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you leave, those are the little things that you miss.
It's true.
Always remember one team, one fight, he said. We're all here to do one job. The best way to do this is work together, vice against each other.
Yeah.
To the Marines, Young said, never forget why you joined the Marine Corps. Never let anyone get in the way of accomplishing your goals. Above all else, have fun.
That was me down in Albany.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
And that's the truth, man. You know,
right.
we only have one life to live. You know, being a Marine can be difficult at times, but there's a lot of things we can achieve out of this together.
Right.
Together. And, you know, and it's our job as we move through the ranks, you know, reach one, teach one.
Yeah, man.
You know, reach one, teach one.
Right.
And together, man, that's how we make changes, organizational changes, personal changes. Man, listen, it's, you know, have fun.
Yeah, bro.
Every day you go to work with a smile. There's something that's going to happen to put a smile on your face. It is.
It is.
And, you know, once you're not enjoying yourself anymore, you know, you feel like you're checking a box or things, or you're in it for the wrong reason. I tell anybody, man, well, then it's time for you to find, you know, another occupation.
Right.
And find another occupation.
Yeah, it's that time, man. You know the saying, Jeffrey. You know when it's your time.
It's time.
No. And even if you try to ignore it, it's going to show in the things you're doing and milling about. And I've seen that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you think of cats like Udonis Haslem down there with the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
You think about, now Andre Iguodala. He one of the oldest cats.
Right.
Those dudes are still giving value. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Young players on those teams, they giving value, man. But some cats, if you're not still giving that value, you still not, you know, doing those necessary things that's moving it forward. I get it, man. You know, if you in that middle pocket, got it, you know. But at the end of the day, man, follow your heart, like you said, have fun, bro. I follow my heart, man. Seeing gentlemen like yourself, man, so many individuals that I can look up to and say, man, you know, they trained me the right way, man. And it made the decision a lot easier, you know. But again, man, that's why these LightBulb lessons for me is so important, bro, because my mama asked me, I'm not gonna lie to my mama, Jeff. Mama said, you know, what do you miss the most about the Marines? I said, Mama, it's about the relationships.
Yeah.
I said, but I still have them, Mama. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
I still have it, you know, and I'm just very appreciative and grateful, man. And again, bro, you mean so much to me, man. Like this I want my sons to be able to see this one day. I want your son to be able to see it one day.
Yeah.
And as a friend to you, on behalf of your son, I will say, man, listen to your daddy, man. You gotta go. Listen to him. You know, and as time moves, you know, you'll understand by and by, as the good elders say, man. Like, so again, man, any parting words, man, for the peoples out there, bro? Any last grand finale words you want to give, man? The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, I thank you for that. First of all, to you, man. Once again, thank you for this phenomenal opportunity. Like we said before, you know, it may not be today or tomorrow, but there's someone who will sit back and take a look at our discussion, and it may spark something they're dealing with personally or professionally. You know, something that we talked about just may get them to think about something a little differently before they take action or pursue a certain career because of something that we said. And, you know, if it's something that leads to something that's beneficial, then the last hour that we shared has been worth it. You know, for everyone that's watching, you know, regardless of their circumstances, their background they come from, you know, brother, there is nothing that can stand in a person's way for them achieving what they desire to do but themselves.
That's right.
You know, there are so many resources. There are so many people that we can reach out to help along the way. So, you know, failure is an excuse, man, for most folks. But to everyone out there, you know, I've always been a person of service.
That's right.
You know, Jeff Young is not hard to find.
That's right.
So if I can ever be of help to anybody, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not hard to find. I always answer my phone or text messages, even though I'm out the Marine Corps. You know, I'm still here to serve and provide any assistance that I possibly can, brother. So there it is.
Yeah, bro. Well, again, man, I appreciate you, man. We love you to death, bro. And these moments, man, I don't want them to end, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I might just call you out the blue. Man, what you doing, bro? Let's hop on and let's keep building, man. Because again, man, you know, this is, as I always say, bro, it's not an interview, man. Like I've rekindled just listening to you today, bro. Just get that true value, man. And you know, I think of shining that light, man, and that's what LightBulb Lessons is to me, and that's what I want, you know, to be relayed, you know, to anybody who's watching, man. That, you know, we all got an inner light within us, man.
Yeah,
every one of us, we got a light, man, and I something simple, man, as simple as pie, something as Marines that we do, man. I just broke the acronym down, and I said, light. What is light to me? L, love. I, intellect. G, greatness. H, health. Very important. And T, truth.
That's right.
If we operate as men, as black men, white men, Asian men, women, young, old, I believe within those 5 pillars, man, you're going to find something good out of that, man.
That's right.
You're going to find something good, man. We have a lot of love for each other, Jeffrey, man, and we can sit here and we can use our intellect, man, to think outside of the box and try to continue to influence and infuse in different ways, man, to ultimately get that positivity, man, and greatness. I'm looking at it, bro. And I look at you, dog. Hey, real talk, dog. I'm looking at real greatness right here.
I appreciate it,
man. I'm just grateful, dog. Like, that's why I always say it, man. I'm grateful. That's gratefulness. I'm grateful to be amongst gratefulness, man. Gentlemen like yourself, man. high-powered individual. And then, like I say, health, man. I look at you, I see it. You look great. You've always looked great. And well-groomed, and I appreciate that, man. And then, again, that last piece, man, just truth, man. We're living in our truth. We have so much to give, so much experience. And as Jeffrey said, man, hey, tap in, reach out. No excuses. If you got questions, concerns, we're not trying to take away from anybody that's still active or none of that nonsense, man. We're just saying, hey, man, if we can lend that hand, like Jeffrey said, man, reach one, teach one. That's what it's all about, man. And that goes for any scope. If we don't have the answers, like we sit and talk about these mentors all day, we're going to reach out and we're going to figure it out. Yeah, we're going to pick that phone up and we're going to figure it out, man. So, again, Jeffrey, man, again, bro, I say it 100%, bro. I love you to death. You know, and I don't want this to be the last time, bro. You're right up the road in Columbia. I'm gonna hit you up. And hey, man, we'll just keep building, man, for that better future for tomorrow, bro.
All right, brother. Listen, take care, man. Much love to you, brother.
Yeah, dog. Much love, man, to you and the family. And as we always say, bro, peace.